Well, the first part of this disease is idolatry. Jonah chapter 2, verse 8 is the key text in the book of Jonah. And that text says in a New International Version, those who cling to idols, or those who cling to worthless idols, forfeit the grace that could be theirs. And that's exactly what Jonah's doing. He's practicing idolatry. He's clinging to this worthless idol. And a lot of you are looking at me lost, like, I don't see Jonah bowing down to a wooden statue. How is what Jonah's doing idolatry? And what you need to know is that idolatry isn't merely bowing down to a wooden statue. Idolatry is a lot of different things. Idolatry is when you base your identity, when you find your value and worth as a person and anything other than your identity based on who you are in Christ or what God thinks about you. Idolatry is anytime you make a secondary thing an ultimate thing. It's instead of finding your ultimate identity in who you are in Christ, you find it in other things such as, I'm a really good mom. I'm a great mom. And it's not wrong to be a great mom. It's good to be a great mom. But when you find your identity, your worth as a person in being a mom, so you have this internal dialogue in your head, you think to yourself, I am valuable to society. I am valuable as a person because of who I am as a mother, who I am as a friend, because I'm well respected in this community. Oftentimes for junior high boys or high school boys, you find your value in the fact that you're a really good athlete. Athletics is what determines your worth in life. It's not just high school boys. In West Texas, it's the girls too, because they're just as much players as the boys are, right? I find my value sometimes for college people, it's your sexual prowess. For grown people, adults, many times it's your earning capacity. I have value as an individual because I make this much money, whereas other people only make that much money. And that's exactly what Jonah's doing. The other way to find what your idol may be is to look at the emotions. If you read this text, you see Jonah's emotions just come to the surface. And emotions are a way to spot the idols in your life. When you have idolatry in your life, you're beginning to worship secondary things as ultimate things. Usually what happens is you end up getting pretty angry about things that are threatening the idol. You become very worried, and you worry warts in the room. Sometimes when you get really anxious, sometimes that anxiety comes from the fact that something's threatening the idol. Unforgiving people, unforgiving Uncle Unser, as the Sons of Anarchy people appreciate that. What's causing that unforgiveness in your life? Sometimes the person who sinned against you, the reason that you're so angry and just absolutely refuse to let it go is because what they did, that sin that they sinned against you threatened an idol. Maybe it was, I feel esteemed before people when they respect me or they like me or they think certain things of me, and what you did to me threatened that. And so what's causing that unforgiveness is idolatry. You see this in Jonah's life, a pity party. Pity party Patty, there's Jonah. Having his little pity party. Why? Idolatry. Just kill me, Lord, just take my life. It's not worth living. What is that? It's because Jonah, his most important thing in life was not doing what God had told him to do. It wasn't finding his identity in what God thought about him. It was finding his identity in what his contemporaries thought about him, namely in the area of politics. And what he did jeopardized his political career. And so he was having a pity party. But really behind the pity party was idolatry. And it's for us too. Who do you just refuse to forgive? What are you really, really angry about? See, those emotions are good. What a lot of Christians do is they get these bad emotions and they think to themselves, I shouldn't feel angry. I shouldn't feel, and so you suppress your anger, or you suppress that worry. I shouldn't be a worrier. You suppress it. And those are, okay, I guess that's fine. But before you suppress the emotion, you've got to track where does that emotion lead, because many times that emotion will lead to the idolatry of your heart. It's like smoke from a fire. Generally, I don't like smoke in my house, but I'll deal with smoke in my house. I wouldn't just open the door and try to wave out all the smoke from my house without first following that smoke to figure out where's the fire. And the emotions in your life are the smoke to the fire of idolatry in your heart. And for a lot of us, what is it in your life that you just can't imagine life being worth living if this thing isn't there? If this thing wasn't in your life, I would be utterly blown away. What is it in which you find sweetness in life? That thing in which you base your security in life. Those things, if you make a secondary thing, maybe it's I cannot be happy in life unless I have kids. I can't be happy in life unless I'm well respected by the other moms around me. I can't be happy in life unless I make a certain amount of money or have a church this big or have this kind of budget or make this much profit. Whatever those things are, if those secondary things, sometimes good things become ultimate things, you begin to worship those things, find your identity in those things, pull sweetness from those things, get security from those things, that's idolatry. And that's exactly what's going on in Jonah's life, and that's the cause of his spiritual sickness. It's idolatry.